Do you want to tell people the backstory of this new series?
Sure. So basically, I was having a discussion with some young bucks, some people new to anime, and they were just hyping up Demon Slayer, calling it the GOAT, calling it like all types of crazy things. And then we kind of go into our conversation. I'm explaining why it's not that great, and then they started talking about like all these other swordsmen who, quote unquote, Tanjiro would bang, and literally. They said that he would bang the GOAT of swordsmen, at least from an American perspective. The Battousai himself, Kenshin Himura. And I was like, whoa, y'all kids, y'all don't watch TV. Y'all just watch Funimation. That's it. And so this is where this kind of came from, is like this idea of like, okay, so all these characters that are out here or whatever, doing whatever they do, what are some characters that could literally just do their job better or are doing their job better? Yep. And so that's why we thought about like the swordsman thing. So like, which swordsmen are better than Tanjiro? If either A, they already just flat out better, or if B, like, if we were to switch their powers, like, who would, like, let's say if we were to put the Battousai in the Demon Slayer world, he'd probably be a way better Demon Slayer.
He's the sun guy. Oh, sorry, y'all ain't got there yet, but he's that nigga. Like Gramps knows, but.
So I definitely ain't there. Yo. I'll wait till I get it dubbed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, might as well. I mean, it's definitely going to get it dubbed. We already seen how hot it was. But, so yeah, so like I said, so this is, or like Player 5 said, this is our Stronger Than series. Don't know the cadence yet, but we'll be taking some of your favorite anime/manga characters and just letting you know, like educating the community on some other characters that are comparably better or fairly close to that person in strength. Because like obviously it's going to be super easy to just name some super OP characters, right? Like in this case, we're doing Tanjiro as a swordsman. So we could name like somebody like Trunks, but Trunks barely passes the mark as a swordsman. And most of the reason why he beat Tanjiro is purely based off of the scale of the DBZ universe. Mm-hmm. So we're actually trying to find some closer characters to you so you can expose you to some other anime/manga, because clearly we going down a road where people aren't educated. They sleeping on some goats. Not to sound like an old head here, but just like, you got to open up your third eye a little bit. Yeah. So, welcome to Stronger Than. We each came with one swordsman that we feel like is a better swordsman than Tanjiro. When we say swordsman, we're not just talking about pure strength. We're really talking about technique. So, like Player 5 said, if we bring Tanjiro to this person's world, are they still better or is Tanjiro better? Or if we bring Tanjiro into their world, are they better or Tanjiro better? So everyone brought theirs. Y'all can go ahead and share yours. Whoever want to go first.
So yeah, I just kind of keep these two as a pair, just because I think anybody that watches the show would agree that they basically on similar skill. But Jean and Mugen from Samurai Champloo, two samurais. If you don't know about Samurai Champloo, basically these two samurai kind of meet in a really odd way, almost fight to death, but then they just kind of come together on a like collective journey to get some girl to where she needs to be. You get to see a bunch of samurai stuff. That's the gist. And yeah, I feel like, let's say if we were to strip Tanjiro of his powers and just straight up put him in this world, like this is a world where ain't nobody got magic powers. Either you good with that sword or you getting chopped up. And I ain't seen it. I really ain't seen it. If it wasn't for all the magical water sword stuff, I think he dies.
Which is also in their mind.
Yeah, which apparently also in their mind.
Apparently none of that shit.
So it's just like, yeah, if that's the case, if it's all in their mind, you gotta realize that all Tanjiro is doing is kind of one-shotting people with single strokes. And that's definitely not going to work in the world where Samurai Champloo. Like, Mugen is like a three-dimensional fighter. He be breakdancing all over the place. And Jean is like a literal, like, hey, I was classically trained samurai and will body like 6 regular samurais easy. With his glasses, push him up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and if you were to get him like Demon Slayer, kind of like super swords and stuff like that, I think they'll body a lot of them demons.
Yep. I'll toss mine in there. So I'm gonna go manga route. Kurogane Gamma from Gameran. Gameran is another samurai series. If I had to give give it a one sentence summary, it's basically like the Baki of swordsmen. This guy named Gamma is basically trying to defeat his father, who's like the strongest swordsman in the world, and you get to kind of see his journey through swordsmanship from beginning to end. He ends up becoming a pretty decent swordsman. I don't even think he ends the series as the strongest swordsman, but I think his skill is still comparably stronger than Tanjiro. So, more or less, it's all technique with Gamma. He's pretty versatile, learns on the fly, similar to Tanjiro, but at the same time, he's also just has like genius level background when it comes to swordsmanship, which I think Tanjiro doesn't have. So overall, if either one switched worlds, I think Gamma would be a way better Tanjiro, and Tanjiro probably would die in Gamma's universe. Gramps?
Alright, so I'm gonna hit y'all with a slight curveball. I know people wouldn't typically think of samurai when they think of this person, but I'm gonna hit y'all with Killer Bee from Naruto. Everybody knows about Naruto, so I don't have to give a description of the show or whatever, but based off just one fight, when you see the fight between him and Sasuke, the man was definitely throwing mean hands with swordsmanship when he was fighting with this dude. And he wasn't, you can argue that he definitely wasn't using any powers. He wasn't using the eight-tails beast or anything like that. He was specifically placing swords in different parts of his body and throwing hands with somebody who you can definitely say probably would also beat Tanjiro, just based off of using his powers and, Sharingan and all that bullshit. And this man was definitely giving Sasuke the hand with just the swordsmanship on his own before he even whipped out the powers. So, nobody has any powers, straight hands, swordsmanship. Yeah, Killer Bee would give him the work.
Cool. So those were our 3 suggestions. We just want to toss out some honorable mentions as well of characters we think are probably also comparably stronger, and we could shoot them out now.
Yeah. So obviously, Kenshin Himura.
Thanks.
I'm not going to sit here and explain to you why he the GOAT. I also think basically any of like Kenshin's like homies, because the whole show is about like samurais and stuff like that. So any of his homies are kind of solidified too. They probably be dope in that world. One that a lot of people don't kind of fuck with that hard is Shaman King world. Mm-hmm. Like Yo Asakura, before they get like shonen
You're
up.
basically saying Amidamaru though.
Yeah, basically before they start to get shonen up, like Amidamaru, but also because at some point basically learned the skills. You know what I'm saying? So definitely by lore of the story, one of the coldest samurai in Japan. You know what I'm saying? So like he gonna box on him. I kind of want to throw Shishomaru from Inuyasha.
Oof,
I think with no powers, bro, he's still going hard.
You think so?
My man Shishomaru.
That is true, because his sword itself wasn't actually like a combat sword. So it was all swordsmanship that he was actually.
If he landing a strike on you with a sword that can't kill you, you're a hoe. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that is actually a very good sleeper right there. Like, who else would I toss in the debate? I think Mufune from Soul Eater is one. I know you gave him a barely pass. I don't know how, but I think the versatility that he showcased, plus like his fights versus Black Star, kind of showcased his skill there. Where I think he would definitely give Tanjiro some go.
That'd be a cold demon slayer too.
Yeah,
it's a whole bunch of swords.
Facts.
That'd be lit.
So I put him up there. Zoro is debatable, but I think he makes a chance, because we just have to understand what technique, how we can separate the technique from the strength.
Oh yeah.
Because once we take away Zoro's strength, that's a lot of his stuff early in the series. But he still has some techniques that I think he learned from swordsmanship, which is like the ability to cut steel. Mm-hmm. I consider that like a swordsmanship technique. And some other things. So I think once we take the strength away, it's just like trying to see if we can guess what he's like without that as far as swordsmanship goes. But I think he might edge it out.
In the first episode, that nigga like cut some bullets down. And I think that was like before everybody OP. Like that might have been just skill. I'm like, so you can do that. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I might get to Zoro.
But then the question becomes though, like, cause Zoro back then was still kind of a weak booty as far as swordsmanship goes. So if we toss Tanjiro in that level, my guess is that Tanjiro is not like your average swordsman in the One Piece world. So then I felt like that skill, since he was showcased in the first episode, he should be able to do some shit like that.
I can respect that.
I'm thinking that Tanjiro would definitely get dropped. There's too many fanboys out there completely disagree with what you're saying right now. They would fucking argue with you to the end of this world.
Oh yeah, I know.
If you were to say that Zoro has a chance of losing against that boy.
Yeah, I know what they saying. Like post time skip Zoro, yeah, maybe there's more of an argument to be made, but we haven't seen much.
I think what you're saying is if you were to put Tanjiro, like let's say Luffy finds Zoro and Tanjiro locked up in that fucking prison, episode 1. You know what I'm saying? And both of them niggas come out at the end of One Piece. He's subject to the same world. Is Zoro gonna still be better than Tanjiro? And that's where you kind of like, who knows, shit.
Yep. And if you take away the strength from Zoro, that really hurts a few of his. I don't know, a few of the reasons why people put a lot of respect on him, because I felt like the one thing that really shuts the whole argument down is that like we've found out that Zoro can cut atoms, so they're kind of like destroys the whole argument. But either way, just
that doesn't make any sense.
Most time we see Zoro fight, he like is cutting big shit down, and it's hard to tell whether that's technique or whether that's like his actual just like raw strength, because we've seen him do some crazy raw strength feats. So that's the part where I'm like, so if we separate that, like, did he cut Pika using swordsmanship skill? Or was that just like a showcase that Zoro is just a strong ass motherfucker, or what? Like, those are the things that I think is what makes it debatable.
Okay. I got you.
Any other swordsmen from you, Gramps? You want to toss in there as honorable mentions?
Yeah, other than Zoro that I would have put in there, I would have personally said Afro Samurai.
Oh yeah.
Just because
Afro.
I don't think there's anybody on this fucking planet that's gonna disagree that Afro Samurai is gonna fuck that boy up.
There's some kids.
And you obviously have never watched any fucking thing in your life.
He gonna fuck him up like in a different kind of way though, because that should be gruesome. So it's like you may not even want to see what Tanjiro looked like at the end of that battle, fam.
True.
He might not have no teeth, no eyes. Like that nigga gonna be fucked up.